See if we are live.
Yep.
Okay, we're live. Okay, I still don't have the video yet. Is it live on your end?
It says live on StreamYard.
Yeah, it says live on StreamYard. I'm seeing it. Oh, yep, here it is. Just came up on YouTube. All right. Welcome to Blue Collar Fishing Thursday Night Live. I am your host, Kelly. You're joining us live. Hopefully, some people in here pretty soon. Hmm. All right, we have tonight's guest, Kai, is OK Fishing on YouTube.
Hello,
So,
hello.
Kai, why don't you lead us off and tell me a little bit about yourself, like what we were just discussing, and tell the audience.
Yeah, so my name on YouTube is OK Fishing, and OK does not stand for Oklahoma. It stands for Okanagan, which is a small valley in British Columbia, which is very west of Canada. I've been making videos on YouTube for about a year, and I have like an education based type of content. So, like, introducing people to the sport, teaching them how to fish, raising the next generation of fishermen, which I guess is me too.
Yeah, you kind of fit in that category. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And we're just discussing how young you are, Kyle. Do you mind sharing? Kai, sorry, I said Kyle. Kai, do you mind sharing that information, or is that something you keep secret?
No, I'm 14, so real young.
Okay. Now, I was introduced to you from Stanley Orchard. He's the one who
Yep.
actually reached out and gave me your contacts and everything. I have to help you grow on Twitter. I think is what he asked me to do. I have a bigger Twitter page than others, smaller
Yeah.
than others too. But I actually happen to be bigger on Twitter than Stanley. It's funny because it's actually true, and I rag him about it all the time. Stanley is bigger than me on YouTube. Stanley's been able
Yeah.
to be consistent with his content. However, I got Stanley to his first 1,000 subscribers he needed. I hit it first and then brought him along. But
Yeah.
and he was able to soar past that. But it's good. The video content that he can make with just his cell phone is actually impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you? You said you're an educational
Yeah.
type of program. So, what kind of fishing do you focus on?
Um like multi-species fishing is more what I'm going for, so like anything freshwater, but like the sort of thing where like you show up to a lake and you can cast out and you'll just catch fish no matter what it is.
Okay. And what kind of multi-species do you have in your area?
We have some rainbow trout. That's the most common species. Have kokanee salmon. Have a little bit of smallmouth and largemouth bass. Some crappie, some panfish, and a local species called northern pike minnow. Don't
Okay.
think you've ever heard of them. Yeah,
I've heard of northern pike.
they're like a kind of like the cousin. They're smaller and they have no teeth, and they kind of look like snook,
Okay.
but they're freshwater.
Aren't they invasive?
They are.
That's your invasive species issue, right? The northern pike
Yeah.
minnow.
Yeah.
Do they want them out of your waterways?
Not really. Like the government of BC hasn't really acknowledged them as a species. They're not in the regulations anywhere.
So it would be like our goby. We have a goby down here in the Midwest area in the states that's invasive that they
Yeah.
don't want. Which I don't know why they don't want it. It's a heck of a bait source. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
fish go nuts about it. I don't know if it causes damage to the other areas. Uh, we have actually quite a few invasive issues in the states, in different parts of the states. Is the northern pike minnow the only invasive issue you have?
No, actually, in BC, largemouth and smallmouth bass are considered invasive species. So they have higher quotas than other fish, and they're expected to be fished out,
Okay.
which is interesting. But
Technically, they call them they're a naturalized species here now. Actually, they're not originally from
yeah,
here. They're not originally
yeah,
from here. Smallmouth bass came out of the Great Lakes region. So I mean, they're originally from the states and the Great Lakes and some
yeah,
southern parts of Canada, but they're not in the originally from the water systems they've been introduced to, and now you can catch them.
yeah,
Actually, you can catch bass in all 50 United States now. As of last year, they found bass in a lake in Alaska
yeah.
or Alaska
I heard about
Panhandle.
that.
They do know. And one largemouth. So my guess is somebody caught it, put it in a cooler, and threw it in there. They found it dead. The Wild Game Pursuit. Hey, welcome. What's up?
Oh,
So, Kai, where are you looking to take this? Like, we just discussed you being pretty young. So, are you looking at marine, the biology side of fishing, educational side, or the marketing side with YouTube, or an influence, or
I'd probably
what are
look to
you
be.
hoping your next step is?
I'm looking to take YouTube like almost full time as I start to like after I graduate high school.
Okay.
That would be the goal.
There's no shame in admitting that. A lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
will try to give you some flack, but if it hasn't happened for me, it hasn't happened for a lot of people. But I have
Mm-hmm.
no qualms if I was ever able to make a living to fish, I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
On my own schedule. So are you studying YouTube? Or are you trying to figure out how to grow
Oh yeah.
organically?
Yep.
Are you listening to any influencers on that side?
Oh yeah. Stanley's helped quite a lot
Stanley with
with his
TubeBuddy.
reach at two. Yeah.
Do you use any others?
I have been using vidIQ lately, and they've been super helpful. They do live streams twice a week, and they have a extension that's just like TubeBuddy.
Okay. There's a guy out there called Nick Nimmin.
Yeah, Nick and D Niman.
Hmm.
I've listened
Also,
to
his
them a few
content
times.
his content is free, so
Yeah.
that's helpful. Especially, I'm assuming you're not working 40 plus hours a week.
No.
Um, so do you only fish? Is that your only outdoor activity in your region? Do you do any hunting or anything of that nature?
I don't do any hunting.
No.
I haven't camped. I like taking hikes, but that's not good content.
Mm. No,
Seems
it's
kind of
not.
boring.
Yeah, I was trying to get there. I just couldn't. I was trying to get there with maybe there's something in it. Yeah, too, but use. I'm taking a look at your Chanalytics from TubeBuddy right now. You're not doing too bad
Yeah,
for the amount of subscribers you got.
yeah,
Actually, you got a lot of views for only having 143 subscribers right now.
yeah,
Good click through rate. Your subscriber to views count. I wish views were
yeah,
the only thing that mattered. I really do. Me and Stanley have had this
yeah.
discussion too, talking about him earlier. I think the subscriber count is one of the stupidest analytics because it pushes everybody to only seek subscribers and not organic views.
Right, yeah. That makes sense.
All right, so let's talk a little fishing. I am a fishing channel. You're a fishing channel. Now,
Okay.
we had just discussed off air that you are one of the only regions in the Canadian provinces that actually has a bass fishing sport in it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you do any bass fishing on your own? So, do you fish from a boat or a kayak? Any tournament fishing, anything of that nature?
I haven't fished any tournaments, but I have done a little bit of bass fishing, and that has been out of a boat and on shore.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, the biggest one I've caught though is like less than a pound. I haven't had too much luck.
Well, for a region they're not supposed to be in, that's probably all right.
Yeah,
I know that, but these like there are a lot of southern anglers that come and go on here on these live streams. A lot of southern bass guys, and
mhm.
well, not so much in Florida anymore. The Florida guys, but some of the like southern Alabama guys or whatever, they don't have too many toothy critters. So in a lot of
Yeah,
waters and a lot of ponds, streams, and rivers and creeks, especially in the southern United States, bass is at the top of the food chain in a lot of
yeah,
places. A bass is the only predator in there. I live further north now. I'm currently located in southeast Pennsylvania, which isn't as north as you, obviously. But
yeah.
I did spend a lot of time in northern Minnesota, around the Canadian border, Great Lakes region over there.
Mhm.
Bass is nowhere near the biggest predator in the lake.
No.
You have a lot of toothy critters up there that have a pretty steady diet of smallmouth bass.
Oh yeah.
So, what is your biggest fish? Biggest fish caught species?
My biggest fish all time was actually a northern pike minnow. It was about 8 pounds, we estimated. So that's
Oh,
like
they
as
get
big as they get.
they get that big?
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I caught it.
Oh, me either. That's crazy. You wouldn't think something called minnow would get to be 8 pounds.
Yeah, it's quite odd.
All right. When you're not fishing for northern pike minnows or the bass, as we just discussed, what are other? Do you do any catching cooks?
No, I actually like fishing is my life. I love fishing, but I don't like to eat fish.
Okay.
So that's quite kind of odd, but I just can't. The taste of it. The only fish I've ever liked was mahi mahi. So it kind of tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken,
Fair.
and that is true. I've eaten half of everything on the sun, and everything tastes like chicken. I always thought that was maybe because like uh, chicken on its own is a pretty blank palate. So chicken
Yeah,
kind of tastes like what you make chicken taste like. So
that's a good point.
I think a lot of, especially a lot of mammals or white meat, wild game that you might is similar in uh, texture and contrast. So
Hmm.
it doesn't bring a lot of its own fat and flavor. In any wild game, fat is where, or in any meat actually, its own flavor is provided by the fat. That's why pork tastes like pork fat. So
Yeah.
chicken doesn't provide a lot of fat there, a lot of fat in its meat, so therefore it doesn't provide a lot of flavor on its own.
Mm.
Sorry, I know I was a little nerdy.
That's all right.
Uh, what's your filming schedule looking like right now?
With the end of school, like I've been pushing the end of school, it's been warped pretty bad, but I'm looking to get out a video a week again. I used to be 2 videos a week, and then that dropped off. So now I'm like a video every 2 weeks. But I got 2 months off school, make the most of it.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Video a week, especially as you grow, but a video a week is probably about the minimum limit you'll get. So if you could, I can't do it either
Hmm.
right now. I totally sympathize with your schedule being out of whack because mine is. But also right now I'm nursing an injury from work, so I'm kind of benched. It's hard for me to, and we don't have universal health care down here, so I got to be real careful with how I don't re-injure myself.
Yeah.
Enjoy that
I'm
universal
just
health care.
yeah. I'm just getting off
um,
an injury myself too. I can't cast the same way. So it's been
yeah,
kind of hard, but
I've got carpal tunnel and a wrist injury, so I'm not. And reeling is the same repetitive movement, and they tell me not to do that.
yeah.
So I spend. They're not right now, but I spend a few hours a day in braces to keep them still and everything. I don't have to wear it all the time, but I do have to wear it some. Then I ice them and
Yeah,
all
it's
that
hard.
other junk, the steroid. And I actually both my children are older than you, so I've got kids graduating high school and everything right now too.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, the ideal is at least a video a week, and
Hmm.
you could really push the algorithm if you do two. Two's how you push the algorithm to your keep your videos in the SEO,
Yeah.
and then it's thumbnail and title. I know you already know this, but thumbnails and titles.
Oh yeah.
Are you using TubeBuddy for your keyword explorers and you're
TubeBuddy and vidIQ. Yeah.
using them both?
Yeah.
I did have the premium package, but I don't now because I use a different editing software. I use
Right.
a different software for thumbnails. The Keyword Explorer comes with the free version. So.
Yeah.
And tags, I mean, I don't know if tags are all that important anymore. I can't because they're saying tags don't push the
Yeah.
algorithm like they used to. Like tags don't really mean as much anymore.
It's not like it's gonna hurt, right?
No,
Like,
no.
why not? I've been using the vidIQ has a I think TubeBuddy has it too, but like as you put in your title and your description and your tags, it goes through like a SEO score.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm uploading videos, I do the make sure it's above like 40 or 95% or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's helped.
Yeah, I was doing pretty good with the SEO on TubeBuddy before life went awry.
Yeah.
But it happens. It's just anytime you get knocked off schedule, just get back on when you can.
Mm-hmm.
Slow night tonight.
Yep.
I haven't been on in a couple of weeks, so
Makes sense.
it's going to take some. It's going to take some time for people to know that I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kai. So who were? All right, let's go. That you want to be a YouTuber? Who were your influencers to uh, fish on YouTube? Hey, Jack, how's it going? Welcome to the stream.
Um, it probably would have been Brendan Miller. Don't know if you've heard of him.
I know Brendan.
Like
I know
when I first
Brendan.
of him, yeah. When I first really started to get into fishing, I watched his videos as like a 7 8 year old, and I just loved it, and that's what actually got me into just watching YouTube in general, which got me thinking like I could create content. And now when I turned like 13 and fishing was my whole life, I put two and two together, and you got fishing videos.
Yeah, I watched Brendan. I like his fishing pet peeves series he does.
Yeah,
He's pretty comical.
yeah.
And when I say I know of him because I don't actually know Brendan, I do know some YouTubers though, so I can legitimately distinguish the two. And even some of the bigger ones, like Alex Rudd's been on here a couple of times. I don't know if you know him. He's
I've seen
bigger.
some of his videos. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Alex. Um, I met Fluke Master. Fluke Master was the first one I subscribed to. He was
Yeah, he's a really
probably
cool
one
guy.
of the Gene Jensen. He was probably one of the first, maybe the first fishing YouTuber
Hmm.
on here. He's kind of like the godfather of it. It was either
Yeah,
him or Nick the Informative Fisherman. I don't remember who was first. I want to say it was Fluke. They came out about the same time.
yeah.
And then all those Gugan kids used to they used to collab back with Fluke Master when they were all with Mystery Tackle Box before they created the entire Gugan concept. So I've
Hmm.
been watching John B since he was your age. So
Wow.
Brendan's your one. Do you have a two? Anybody else that influenced you? And that do you have a list of the?
There's a local guy. His name is Fishing with Rodney,
Okay.
who I think it's how it's pronounced, and he just fishing all over British Columbia. I found him again at a really young age and has been watching him forever. He makes great videos. He's helped me like when you show up to a new lake and you're like you have no idea what to do. It's pull up Rod's channel and find the video where he caught 10 fish at that lake, and off you go.
Yeah, I think YouTube has really changed the sport and the concept. Can we get another introduction, Kelly? Oh yeah, of course, Jack. Jack, this is Kai. Kai is with a channel called OK Fishing, and I cannot pronounce that. So, Guy, will you explain again to Jack that OK is not Oklahoma?
Not Oklahoma. It stands for the Okanagan, which is a small valley in British Columbia, which is Western Canada.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's completely on the other side.
Yeah.
Um, who introduced bass then? Like I can understand in Ontario or something.
I don't know.
They
I
didn't
was thinking
swim
about
there.
that.
You
No.
know? Um, Jack, wow, I fished Grand Lake too. It's Grand Lake. I'm a little thrown off, Jack. I'm sorry. What's Grand Lake? I don't know where Grand Lake is, and I know a lot. Oklahoma. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, LOL. He
Oh.
was being sarcastic. Okay, Oklahoma. Grand Lake, Oklahoma. I have actually never fished in Oklahoma. I've been to
Oh,
Oklahoma a
now
couple
that I
times,
put
but
it
never fished there.
together, I think I've heard of that lake actually.
I haven't. Hmm. Probably should have though.
I think they might have had a Bassmaster tournament on there once. Maybe that's where I recognize the name.
Probably have. They probably have. Jimmy Houston's from Oklahoma.
Hmm.
Mayhem too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
great guy.
cool. Yeah.
Awesome guy. Uh, who's your favorite pro?
Corey Johnston. He was the first Canadian to win a Blue Trophy, which is the Elite Series event. So I have to
So
go
we're
with
going
him.
all Canadians. None of the
Yeah.
state guys get shot.
If I had to pick an American, it would be Brendan Palaniuk, though. He's so like funny,
Mm-hmm.
just a fun
Mm-hmm.
guy.
Mike Iaconelli follows me on Twitter, and he
Oh,
responds
really?
sometimes to some of my tweets. Yeah, I've
That's cool.
aggravated him for 2 years probably to try to get him on here. One day. He hasn't said yes
Oh,
yet,
yeah.
but I don't know. Maybe one day he'll just get tired of me asking. So, favorite Canadian YouTuber?
Favorite Canadian YouTuber?
I actually
Well, I
have
feel
one.
like the obvious answer would probably be Linus Tech Tips because he's the biggest one, I believe. But that's not fishing, so
Nah, I meant fishing. I don't watch much of anything but fishing.
yeah, probably fishing with Rod, just because he's local.
It says he's local. I'll have to look him up. I don't think I've ever actually seen his videos. Excuse me. I have one actually.
What is it?
You ever heard of Aaron Weeble? Uncut Angling.
No,
Really?
I have
He's out
not.
of Manitoba. He hasn't. He actually hasn't filmed in a while, but he started making um, videos for Travel Manitoba,
Oh,
and
okay.
his cameraman was another YouTuber who is now got a deal with Steve Ranella on the Meat Eater channel. and his
Hmm.
cameraman was Jay Siemens. And Jay Siemens also has a fishing YouTube channel out of. He's in Ontario now.
Cool.
And don't tell. Darren's Northern Life is a buddy of mine. He's also out of Manitoba. He's kind of like, a little bigger than me. He's in this, like, Stanley's level of YouTube.
Yeah.
So don't tell him he's not my favorite.
Oh well.
Bassmasters on Grand Lake every year. Well,
Oh,
now
okay.
I just feel embarrassed, Jack. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's COVID brain. I probably have
Yeah.
heard of it and just don't remember since COVID. Bassmasters on Grand. Hmm. Have you met any of the? Have you collabed with anybody yet?
No. Other than the one time I went live with Stanley, no.
You haven't collabed in a video yet.
Oh, well, technically I did. It was with a guy who I think he's about my age. He doesn't do fishing videos, but we made like a comedy skit short thing. Doesn't really count. Guess it's a collab though.
Well, I have seen fishing with Rod.
Mhm.
I just searched it up. Yeah, the Asian guy.
Yeah.
I've seen him collab with other people too. Sorry.
Dan's Midwest Angling. Hello.
Hey, Dan's Midwest Angling. Welcome to the show. You're new. I don't think I've seen you before. Jack said Harold Inslee TV fishing shows back in the 60s. The Fisherman's Friend.
Hmm.
Okay, Jack. While I am significantly older than our guest tonight, like I have kids older than our guest tonight, not quite that old. I wasn't alive in the 60s. I'm sorry, buddy. The Fisherman's Friend. I know the cough drop. I watch that show weekly. Well, then, Jack, you've aged well. Get to know Jack Van Fleet, guy. He's a heck of a guy. He really help
Yeah.
you out, especially if you got a favorite bait, he can make it. So,
Yeah.
what's your favorite bait?
I'm a spoons and spinner guy.
Seems the same. Yeah, a lot of northern angle.
Kind of basic.
I find I don't mind fishing a spinner, like because it's kind of basic. But at least you're 75 and counting, Jack. Hey, congrats, man. I hope I get around like you at 75. Um, so a spinner because, well, yeah, it is basic. You just cast and retrieve. So I can do
Yeah.
spinners, all right, but at least cast and retrieve. You're busy. You're casting up into the thing or whatever. But a spoon, you're bouncing off of the bottom. And even though I'm a finesse guy, just dragging or bouncing off the bottom, it's kind of like waiting on a bus.
Yeah.
I never could figure out a spoon, and it's just not really an effective way to fish down here.
I'm sure I
Do you
fish
have a
like
high, do
way
you have
deeper
high
water.
pressure in your area?
High
Yeah,
water pressure?
guaranteed. pressure. A lot of people fish in the same water,
Oh,
or the
oh,
fish pressure
sorry.
is what I meant.
Uh,
It's all right.
yeah, like there a lot of people fish, but a lot of people don't fish in the right spot. So it's hard to judge, but I we get a lot more pressure than other places of the province for sure.
Now, British Columbia, the climate is milder than the other provinces, right? Or if I got
Uh,
that back,
we have like warmer winters, but the summers get really, really hot. In fact, last
yeah. Well,
year
when I say
was
milder, I meant winter.
winter. Yeah, last year it only got like -15 was the coldest it got, and it was only like that for 2 days, and the rest like was around zero. So it's quite mild. Sorry, I'm talking Celsius. I forgot. You're in Fahrenheit. I'm Celsius.
Um, I don't remember my conversion. Zero is 32 Fahrenheit, right? Is
I
zero
think
is
so.
freezing, right? Point of freezing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's 32 in Fahrenheit, I think.
yeah.
Well, I know the point of freezing is 32 in Fahrenheit. I don't know. Every fishing spot's different on baits. That is true. Absolutely. I guarantee you, Kai, you say you're fishing deeper water. So, because I'm not, I find your method of fishing ineffective and boring to me because it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, you would hate how I have to fish some of the pressured
Yeah.
areas like I fish in because I fish in some pressured shallow water, which means I'm
Right.
throwing a weightless wacky rig Cinco up into a weed bed. Now, waiting on a weightless Cinco to sink 3 feet is one thing. Waiting on it to sink 30 feet, I hope you packed a lunch.
Mm.
That would sound like misery to me. You know,
Yeah. Like I don't think I've caught a fish in like the shallowest water I've ever caught a fish was like 8 feet. Like I'm usually fishing 15 to 20 feet deep.
I've caught fish in 8 inches.
Wow.
I don't know how many meters that is.
We usually use feet anyway.
Oh,
It's just
really?
easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're only half metric.
Yeah.
Celsius is.
We use feet and we use pounds. Everything else is metric.
Dansman was saying, I don't throw wacky worms over 5 feet. Yeah, me either. I usually bomb a tube deeper than that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I use a tube for smallmouth. You know what I did start doing a couple of years back though is Texas rigging them and throwing them up under brush for largemouth. I saw a
Mm-hmm.
guy on Tyler's Real Fishing. He's I can't remember his name right now. I'm sure Jack or Dan might know, but he's a professional angler. He was on the FLW, but he doesn't have arms and legs.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen him before.
But I saw him
Really
doing that,
cool.
throwing a Texas rig tube up into the brush, and it kind of it simulates a flute, uh,
Mm-hmm.
little minnow or bait fish going through there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't throw wacky worms over 5 feet either. And honestly, in the areas I fish, especially in the summertime when the water's low here, uh, I might throw wacky worms in a foot.
Wow.
That's actually my preferred method of fishing. I'm more of a shallow water expert. But
Hmm.
like I told you earlier, I grew up in the South. We have a lot of shallow water in the area,
Yeah.
and where I live now, the smallmouth fishing near me is the Susquehanna River. It's
Hmm.
top
Heard of that.
2, 3 smallmouth bass fisheries in the world. It's ranked, and it is known for being a mile wide and a foot deep.
Hmm.
Jack asked, "What lake are you fishing, Guy?"
Uh, the lake I fish the most is the Okanagan Lake. It's like
Okay.
it's kind of like it's a weird lake because it's like 130 kilometers long and it's about a kilometer wide the whole way, so it looks like a river, and then it's kind of like a bowl shape. So it gets to like 300 feet deep in the middle, and then kind of comes out. So on the sides, you got like 5 feet down. Oh, you can't see me. You got like 5 feet down, then you get down to 50, 100, 300, 350. And that's where, don't know if you ever heard of this, but there's a legend called the Ogopogo, and it's the only known sea monster in all of North America. And they say it lives in the Okanagan Lake, 300 feet down. I think it's a myth, but interesting fact.
It's not the only known legend in North America.
Really? There's other lake sea
There are
monsters?
actually, yeah, there are in North America. Let
Oh,
no,
maybe
because
it.
I'm pretty sure they don't exist. But there's
Yeah.
other legends. Yes,
Oh, I'm
the
in
Great Lakes
Canada.
have one that's like okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember North America goes all the way,
all the way down. Yeah,
past Mexico.
yeah.
Champ and Lake Champlain. Yeah, there's Champ and Lake Champlain. There's one in Lake Michigan. It's like the Loch Ness monster, but they call it something else. But yeah, I remember Champ now. Champ is also rumored to be like a like Loch Ness monster type deal.
Mm.
Yes, cool myth though. Yeah, it's cool. I have I have seen some real life existing monsters, and that's enough to be scared of. Like an alligator gar.
Yeah,
If you ever see like a giant alligator gar and you come across that and you'd never seen one before, I would say you think that's a sea monster.
yeah.
I mean, they get massive. It's like seeing a shark in fresh water.
Mm-hmm. Scary.
I'd say the first settlers that saw an alligator here looked like a sea
Yeah.
monster to me. Um, is uh, is this like a natural lake or is it a man-made reservoir?
No, it's a natural lake.
Natural lake. We don't have as many of those here. The Great Lakes
Interesting.
are obviously natural lakes, but seen many alligator gar. I've seen a few in Texas. I've seen a few in Texas. Um, seen a ton of long nosed gar. Used to hit them with the uh, prop on the motor all the time. With all the down inside imaging now, you think lake monsters would have been proven by now. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm with you on all those myths. I cannot stand people who choose to believe this nonsense.
Yeah.
Like I know some people who are really into Bigfoot. Like there are shows about it. The entire, okay, not the entire globe, pretty much everyone in the industrialized world now carries a camera in their pocket at all times. You think
Hmm.
somebody would have got a photo in focus, you know?
Yeah.
And but game cameras, every hunter
Hmm.
uses a game camera now.
Yeah.
Most outdoors people record what they're doing. I do, you do. Jack takes pictures. I know that. I don't know if he does videos. Dan, you're new to me. I don't know if you're also a content creator. It's likely somebody at some point, if they existed, would have caught this thing. You know,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh no, it's it's no, it's not. No, it's not." you know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good point, Dan. That live scope is, I mean, that's almost like cheating.
Yeah.
Do you use electronics, guy?
I haven't yet, but we just bought a Striker 4 that we're gonna try to install it this year. Start to learn how to use
Okay.
it.
What kind of boat are you running?
The boat that we use now is like this our ski boat that we use for water skiing and water sports. So it's not
Okay.
like optimal for fishing, but it works.
Hey, use what you got.
Yeah.
I either fish from the bank or from a kayak. I don't currently have a boat bigger than that. And I also I'm blue collar fishing, so I'm kind of known for being budget friendly. That's kind of my niche, my area. So I don't have live scope. I'm not saying I have anything against it. I just cannot fathom paying $6,000 for a imaging system. I
Yeah.
can't fathom the imaging system being more than the boat.
Yeah. That's like
Um, so, and I do a lot of like old fashioned fishing. I don't use electronics really. I don't have electronics on my kayak. I don't, haven't had
mhm.
electronics in years. I just um, use some of the old methods. Look for birds, Carolina rig, figure out the bottom, see what they're busting on, where the shad are spawning.
Yep.
Dan's Midwest Angling. Just started the channel myself. Cool, Dan. Is Dan's Midwest Angling the name of the channel? Dan's Midwest. Where's your yeah, Dan? Dan's Midwest Angling 3.9K views. 62. All right. 63, Dan. I'll play your latest video when I get done with the stream.
Same here.
Yes, it is. I got a 2022 Lund boat, so I started the channel around rigging the boat. Just put out my first fishing video this week. Well, congratulations, Dan.
Way to go.
What's your biggest video, Kai? What's it about? And I'll watch it when we
Biggest
get done with
like
here as well.
biggest like in terms of views, or that I put the most effort
Views,
into, or
views, views.
views. My most
Views.
viewed
What's your most
video,
successful video?
my most successful was a short, and it was a re-upload of the 2003 Bassmaster Classic. That was the Mike Iaconelli, like the
What about
will
your real
never give
videos?
up.
The shorts don't count toward your watch time.
Shorts don't count. Okay.
Okay, come on.
Um,
Mm.
it's
You get the
probably
views, but that's all you get.
yeah, it's probably my fishing ASMR video. I I just like did the
Okay.
most, like took like those big prop baits, put the mic really close to the water, and then like opened my opened my box and shook a whole bunch of things. And people liked it.
Are you going to make ASMR content?
No, it was just like
Right?
a shower
No.
thought, like relaxing fishing videos, because that's quite a search term.
You know what? Because I do watch it here and there, the ASMR. It's like my guilty pleasure for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I when I really watch it is when I'm having audio trouble and I want to know how different mics work because the ASMR guys really know their audio.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I mean that's their bread and butter, their audio. But I mean, yeah, it is kind of a guilty pleasure sometimes at night to relax. I have a hard time turning off the noise in my brain sometimes, and that's. But
mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, damn, I should have made ASMR. There's a lot less effort in it. Guy getting
Yeah,
12 million views to tap on a water bottle. Because when you make outdoor content, you actually got to, pack all your stuff, go to where you're going to go, film for the day, hope you
mm-hmm.
catch fish. If you're doing
Yeah,
the catch and cook, you got to clean fish, you got to prepare fish, and then there are creators on there that making a full time living, getting millions of views a week, just tapping on shit laying around the house.
yeah,
I mean, bully for them, I guess. You imagine if somebody came from the past and asked, like, "What do you do for a living?" I tap on shit and whisper on video.
yeah.
That would be, you know. All right, we got a few more minutes left in this hour live. So Jack and Dan, really appreciate y'all being here. All right, guys, is there anything you want to ask me? Anything you want to talk about, or talk about your channel, or anything you got coming up before we leave?
Um, hmm. Oh, one thing I didn't mention when I was talking about where I fish from, I do have
Mm-hmm.
a float tube. So like those are things that you sit in them, and then with flippers and you just
Mm-hmm.
kick around. And I really like those because
Yeah, I've
you
used.
can get them for like $80. They're quite cheap. You can deck them out like as much as you want, and they're just so easy to like just take anywhere. I think like they're the, assuming you don't have crocodiles, they're the best way to fish, I think.
I don't where I live, but we don't have alligators now.
Yeah.
Here, there are. I mean, Florida, I probably wouldn't do that. Louisiana,
Yeah.
parts of Texas. How's your health issues now, Kelly? I'm still on leave from work, so I'm on well, I'm actually supposed to be on restricted duty, but they couldn't accommodate my restrictions, so I'm on leave. But it's a I have carpal tunnel in my wrist, Jack, in both wrists actually. But it's getting better. Thanks for asking. Appreciate it. But just the restrictions and of course the work issues. You know, I'm
Mhm.
kind of benched for a little bit.
Yeah.
Damn, Wisconsin's full of fishermen by my sales customers. Wisconsin is full of fishermen. I've actually fished Wisconsin. So, before we wrap up tonight, Dan, Jack, if you haven't already, we would really appreciate it if you would go over to Kai's channel, OK Fishing, subscribe, watch a video, show him some support. Appreciate him being on tonight. Um, Kai, wish you all the luck. I hope you grow as
Thanks, man.
quick as possible and turn this into what you want it to be.
Next.
Um, when you get all right, when you get old enough to have a passport and travel, let me know. Maybe if you travel to the states, we can collab sometime. All right,
Sounds good. Thanks for
that
having me
will
on.
that a lot of customers from there need Kyle's link. Kelly, hold on, I'll put it in the chat. And yeah, no problem. Anytime, Kai. There is the link to Kai's YouTube channel in the chat. Swing by,
Thank you.
show him some love, and we will see you all next week, hopefully. So we will see y'all next week. Done. All right. So,
Thanks, man.
yeah, you have 3 new subscribers tonight. So that was some growing. I'll go watch your biggest video. I make sure you watch a video, at least 1 minute of his video, so he gets the watch time. And YouTube, make sure the subscribe sticks. If you subscribe and you don't watch a video, sometimes YouTube doesn't see it as organic, and they
Yeah.
take it away the next day. All right. Have a good night.
Bye.